And Jeff starts now.
Good afternoon. Mondays are the best. And if I say that over and over again Sunday, I might actually believe it. Mondays are the best. Mondays are the best. Mondays are the best. And speaking of rehearsing lines, the Wabeno area players are celebrating 40 years and have a new performance coming up. We will talk about that later in the show. Plus, beef, Arama, and Minocqua did not disappoint. Jeff and I will chat about our beef judging. We'll get to all of that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. The Green Bay Packers won a nail-biter last night, beating the San Francisco 49ers 30-28. After leading the whole game, the Packers fell down 28-27 with just 37 seconds left to go and no timeouts for the Pack. But that was enough for Aaron Rodgers, who connected with Devontae Adams twice to bring the Pack into field goal range. Mason Crosby booted through a 51-yarder to win it as time expired. And just for fun, let's take a look at number 12 as it sailed through. To me, Jeff, that looks like a guy who still likes football. Packers are home next Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Crandon schools will be closed tomorrow through Friday in response to a growing number of illnesses at the schools. School District Administrator Larry Palabicki cited rising COVID, RSV, and hand, foot, and mouth disease cases in a Facebook Live message this morning. This district custodial staff will be deep cleaning the buildings this week. Meanwhile, students will do virtual learning. And next Monday, all staff and students will return and be required to wear masks. Masks will be mandatory at least through the end of October. Some Native American leaders are gathering in Wausau tonight after a Wausau West teacher dressed in a Native American costume during class. This picture was taken by an Ojibwe student in that classroom. Costume was worn during a U.S. history lesson. Leaders with the Lac du Flambeau, Ojibwe, Oneida Nation, and Ho-Chunk Nation are holding a 4:30 press conference outside of John Muir Middle School in Wausau. They will then speak at the 5 p.m. school board meeting inside the school. Some Afghans may be resettling in Wausau. A local refugee agency is hosting a webinar this week for anyone interested in learning more about that process. Nearly 13,000 Afghan refugees are in Fort McCoy in Wisconsin right now, and some are planned to resettle in the Wausau area. The Wausau-based resettlement organization New Beginnings for Refugees will host a virtual event on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. It is billed as a public education event about what the upcoming resettlement process will look like. Again, Thursday this week. Register for the event at newbeginningswi.org. This Jeff Fuller joins us now. Jeff, a fantastic weekend we just had.
Yeah, hey Dan, happy Monday. It makes you wonder, when are we going to pay for this? Temperatures out there in the 70s today. We could go for low 80s on Wednesday, and it's not really going to end anytime quick after that either. A good weekend coming up too, with temperatures well above average this week. And right now, we're at 68 in Rhinelander with a east breeze around 8, a dew point there of 43, so very dry air locked in place across the area right now. Over in Wausau, it's 73 for you, a northeast breeze around 7 with a dew point there of 48. So again, this air is very dry. It's very warm. This is not normal for this time of the year. And look at all the heat to the west of us right now. We're talking 90s across the plains. Those are going to stay there for now, but we do have warmer temperatures in our forecast. In fact, we could do upper 70s to low 80s on Wednesday around here. So here's that trend going forward. 73 tomorrow, 78 for us on Wednesday, 75 for Thursday. The slow, gradual trend down. But again, even these temperatures Sunday to Monday are well above average. We're talking mid-60s by next weekend. Okay, so beyond that, this is the long-range temperature outlook for the first and second weeks of October, and that puts us firmly above average in temperatures. Now, the average falls off very quickly, as you know, basically upper 50s by that time, but you get the idea. We could keep some 60s around for a while. Out there today, though, lots of cloud-free skies across the area today, but we are watching a system well off to the west of us, but the thing here is, you can see it firmly, right? The storm track has shifted to our north. It's way up here in Canada, and it's going to stay there. So this high pressure is firmly in charge. That's going to keep us sunny tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday into Friday. We have a beautiful week ahead. Call your friends, call your enemies. Have them come for the weekend. A great week on the way for us, temperature-wise, until we get probably a change in the pattern by the weekend with maybe some rain showers in the forecast on Saturday. Our forecast tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies, some fog after midnight with low temperatures right at average at 41. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock.
Attention homeowners in Wausau and north central Wisconsin. If you're thinking it takes a lot of time or money to upgrade your bathroom, then think again. Call Wisconsin's #1 remodeler. Mad City, your window and bath partner of the Green Bay Packers, is your trusted local source for baths, tub-to-shower conversions, and walk-in tubs installed in as little as 1 day. Premium patterns like Canyon Rock and Sierra Sand. It's so easy to afford during our Rake in the Fall savings sale. Save $400 with interest-free financing for 6 months and a $25 Walmart gift card with estimate. But call during this program, we'll double your savings. Save $800 on a new bath or shower with 12 months interest-free financing and double it to a $50 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. Plus, act now and get $250 in Mad City cash towards your next home improvement project. And ask about Mad City's Do More discount for extra savings on new EcoSky windows and custom kitchen cabinet refacing.
I know people have said, well, you could go on someplace cheaper and everything. Yeah, but you don't have the quality and, it's lifetime warranty.
Mad City is A+ rated with the BBB. More than 50,000 satisfied customers. See this old bath? Now look at the difference with a new shower from Mad City Baths, installed in as little as 1 day. Now's the time to call. It's our Rake in the Fall savings sale. Save $400 and get interest-free financing for 6 months and a $25 Walmart gift card with estimate. But call during this program and double your savings. Save $800 on a new bath or shower, 12 months interest-free financing, and double it to a $50 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. Plus, receive $250 in Mad City cash towards future home improvements. Call 715-941-4238. That's 715-941-4238.
Stop the chit chat. We're back live on Up North at 4. Here with 3 folks from the Wabeno area players, Linda, Dan, and Mary Ellen. I practiced a couple times before we were on. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to learn more about the upcoming performances that will be happening. But let's just start with the Wabeno area players. Mary Ellen, can you tell us more about your organization?
Absolutely. Over 40 years ago, the Wabeno area players was started by a group of citizens in the community of Wabeno and the surrounding area. Many of them were educators, drama directors, and people who generally like theater. That 40 years has brought all kinds of live theater to the area, and we've had people involved from as far away as Eagle River and down south into Mountain. This year is being our 40th anniversary. We have some shows that we're bringing back that we've done in the past that were audience favorites. We also have a fine arts series, and this year we are going to be working, hoping that WSMA, the Wisconsin School Music Association, will help support our scholarship for area high school students at our Heisman Honors recital in May.
Lots going on. So
Absolutely.
the Northwoods, Linda, does a great job of elevating local artists. What does that mean to Wabeno area?
Well, you would be surprised at the talent that is that we find in the local communities. People who come to our performances will come up to us afterwards and say, gee, I'd really like to do something like that. And we go, well, great.
You can.
You can.
Yeah.
You absolutely can. And more times than not, they just will blow us away with their talent. It's just that no one has said, well, come on up and try.
Right.
Well, I'm curious, Dan, how did you find yourself in the Wabeno area players? How long have you been involved?
Oh, this is a long story.
Cliff version.
The Cliff Notes version is that until about 6 years ago, I was a professor and senior associate dean in a school of public health in Oklahoma. Linda's family's had a cabin up here since just after the earth cooled. And we wanted our own place up here, and so Linda was up visiting friends one time and stopped into a little bistro in Wabeno, and they indicated they'd like to do some plays and drama and so forth. And the other side of my brain had always been interested in writing plays and so forth, and I've done quite a bit of that back in Oklahoma. And so I had the opportunity. So for about the last 7 or 8 years, we've been engaged and had a tremendous time.
And I have to think that writing a play cannot be an easy thing, right? There's so much that goes into it, like lighting, camera angles. what you're trying to get out there to the audience, right? Where do you start?
Typically just the voices in my head. You know, you start hearing these people talk, or you start hearing a story like the one that we're doing now, planting season. Linda tells me, and others have told me, that historically, back in the earlier days, and for example, in the cemeteries, there were buildings in which they would basically have to store people. After there was a funeral, they would store the bodies until the ground thawed out enough for them to bury them. I said, there's got to be a story in this. And so that was sort of the starting point for planting season, which is when the ground thaws out.
I sense a kind of dark sense of humor.
Well, yeah, there is that.
With the creative side.
Well, one would hope. One would hope. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to learn more about planting season in a little bit. I want to just go to Mary Ellen quickly here.
Sure.
So this is your 40th year. I have to imagine not many performances were going on last year. What does it mean to get theater back up and running in Wabeno?
Oh, it's just amazing. It has been 19 months since our last show. And the show that we were supposed to be doing in March got cut short the week before we went to production. So this is huge for us. Theater around the nation has just been just devastated, and everybody's thirsty to go out again. Everybody's thirsty to go and see live theater and live music, and this gives people in the area an opportunity to do that at a very reasonable cost as well.
That's very cool. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after the break. We're going to learn more about planting season, an original play that will be coming to Wabeno this week.
Original play.
Welcome to today's Elite Money Minute with the Elite Advisor Team.
Well, Dad, hopefully you can come fishing with us next time. Don't work too hard.
Ready to go fishing? What's wrong, Mike?
Dad can't make it today, and it's a shame because the fish are jumping in the boat.
Oh gosh, again? Why can't he make it this time?
He has too many chores he needs to get done around the house today.
Last week, he couldn't make it because he had lunch plans with the guys from the shop. He's busier now that he's retired.
Now I can see why it's so important we manage his retirement. There are so many other things your dad would rather do than watch the stock market go up and down every day.
That's why we feel it's important to have someone create a plan for your retirement and do all your heavy lifting for you. Our plan is known as the Memories and Milestones Roadmap, a plan that allows you to focus on creating memories while we focus on helping you reach your retirement milestones. If you'd like to get started on your M&M Roadmap, contact our office or visit the web to get started.
That's today's Elite Money Minute.
Need a lift? Furniture and Mattress USA and Lazy Boy Comfort Studio of Antigo has your chair. Shop over a dozen different styles, sizes, colors, and features. Quality lift chairs from Lazy Boy and others, all long-lasting, smooth, quiet operation with sizes for everyone and every room. If you like it, buy it and take it with you. It's yours. You can view all new styles on Facebook Marketplace, posted weekly. Visit Furniture and Mattress USA and the Lazy Boy Comfort Studio, Highway 45 North in Antigo, open 7 days.
When it comes to business banking, some do one thing well, but Royal Credit Union does everything well, just like we've been doing since 1964. Here's what our members are saying.
I don't know if I can recall a time that Royal didn't go above and beyond for me. They do their best to understand the intent and how the services that are available within the Royal Credit Union platform can make things easier.
Join Royal today at rcu.org/yourbusiness. Insured by NCUA.
Jeff, we're on air again. Okay, we're back on Up North at 4 with 3 folks from the Wabeno area players. Let's learn more about planting season. This is something you wrote, Dan. You gave us the premise earlier. So the idea is people couldn't be buried during the winter months way back in the day because the ground was too hard, right?
Well, that was the story I was told, and of course, originally being from Oklahoma, where there really isn't very much frozen ground, I thought that had to be some sort of a story they were telling me just to watch the reaction they would get. But no, they said, no, that's actually true. Back a long time ago, that when the ground would be frozen for a long period of time, the funeral would happen, but they would basically store the body in the cemetery in a place until they could dig a hole and do it. And so basically the storyline is that there's a funeral director who had a cousin who was in prison, who fell in with 3 criminal sorts who are now wanting to use coffins for all sorts of things they shouldn't be using them for.
Mary Ellen shaking her head like, yup, that's how it goes.
And that's how it goes. And so he's stuck with a lot of coffins, and everybody wants to use them for things they shouldn't be using them for. And
There's
some intrigue there.
There is some intrigue there. So there you go. So there's the premise. You wrote that. Now you got to get the actors in to act out certain roles. Like, where does that process begin?
Well, typically the Wabeno area players, like any other theater company, will hold auditions, and people who are interested will come forward and say, "I'd love to read for a part," and then the director or others will make a decision as to who will be playing which roles, and you go into rehearsals, and then you do it. And this week is when we do it.
So September 30th, October 1st through the 3rd.
Correct.
Those will be the 4 performances. Where's the best way to purchase tickets? Is it just at the door?
At the door. At the door.
Fantastic. Well, Wabeno Area Players does more than just performances, right? You were telling me about a theater camp. So let's go to Linda here. Tell me about this theater camp.
It's a camp for students in grades 4 through 8. It is totally free. And for 5 days in the morning, 4 hours every morning, they are exposed to choreography, learning a song, dialogue, and costuming. And we just pull together all kinds of free things, t-shirts and sequins and buttons, and the kids will cycle through these 4 different areas during the morning, and then on the morning of the 5th day, they actually do a performance for the community.
Wow.
And it's amazing that to watch them pull it all together and memorize this dialogue and do these songs with choreography and put their costumes together themselves. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned grades 4 through 8, right? You know, let's talk in schools. Schools have budgets. Theaters, one of the first things that usually go when budgets are overdrawn, right? When you have these 4th through 8th graders in your class, what do they walk away with that they're not getting in school sometimes? What do they walk away with that they can't always get in school?
I think for many of them, they are introduced to the concept of performance. And given that self-confidence that they can actually get up in front of a group of people and recite lines or sing a song, which is not usually something they're called upon to do in a classroom. So they're exposed to a different experience that...
And you can watch that confidence build right there on stage, right?
Exactly.
And you probably see it too with your actors that you hire to play your parts too, right? They grow.
Well, they're not hired. Remember, this is an all-volunteer organization. So,
so there's no money changing hands.
There is no money changing hands. No. And so, I mean, this is all out of a dedication and a spirit of participation and cooperation, and because people just love the opportunity to get up there and do it.
So, theater.
Yeah, there's no money changing hands other than at the door to get a ticket to come see.
Well, like Mary Ellen said earlier, it's been 19 months for the Wabeno Area Players. The last time they've had a performance, I think people are really yearning for it. So thanks so much for doing what you're doing. I look forward to the performances later this week. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So search Wabeno Area Players on Google. You can find them on Facebook as well for any queries you might have on their performances. We'll be right back. Jeff and I are going to talk about our experiences at Beef-A-Rama. See you in a few minutes.
I'm still full from Beef-A-Rama.
When you shop Goodwill for amazing deals on back-to-school items, you make an impact. Your support keeps items out of the landfill and fuels job training and opportunities for people with barriers to employment. When you shop and donate back to school at Goodwill, Goodwill starts with you.
An organized workspace for sewing is what you want and what you need. It's time for a sewing cabinet from Tomahawk Sew and Vac. Great deals starting from $199. Financing and layaway available while inventory lasts. Make your sewing easy, comfortable, and convenient to sew when and where you want. Tomahawk Sew and Vac. Open every day in downtown Tomahawk. Call 224-3401. That's 224-3401 for Tomahawk Sew and Vac.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
Run through the fabulous fall colors of Wisconsin's Northwoods at the 8th annual Three Eagle Half Marathon and 5K. Join us on October 9th for a point-to-point run from Eagle River to Three Lakes on the beautiful Three Eagle Trail. Registration is now open. To sign up and to get more information, visit 3eaglehalf.com. The Three Eagle Half Marathon and 5K, a top-notch race in your own backyard.
When you shop Goodwill for amazing deals on back-to-school items, you make an impact. Your support keeps items out of the landfill and fuels job training and opportunities for people with barriers to employment. When you shop and donate back to school at Goodwill, Goodwill starts with you.
We're back on Up North at 4. Jeff, theater is something that I always wish I would have done. I didn't do it in high school, but I wish I would have.
Agreed. I worked at Six Flags for a while in Gurnee, Illinois, and the theater program there was very good, you know? But it's just amazing that you can just turn that button on and you're like in program mode and you just put on a show and it's so cool. I never got that either. You didn't get it too?
No, I didn't get it, but I did kind of appreciate how many different kind of people could be involved in any of those. People have to do lighting, costuming, acting, directing.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
And a lot of fun too. And then the lights come down and the show goes on and there's like an excitement in the room. I love that stuff. So we had a great time this weekend. A different form of theater, which was what, Beef-O-Rama?
Beef-O-Rama. Minocqua is
so good.
it was like 58th annual. It's been here so long. Here's just a normal sight that you see on Beef-O-Rama. 2 people dressed up in inflatable cows. So that was awesome. I mean, there's 10,000 people there this weekend, right?
The place was packed. The weather was fantastic. The beef was better than ever this year. You and I judged different categories. I had the charcoal category. I think you had wood-fired?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So this is a picture of me because we all know Jeff is notorious for being a great picture taker. But this is me judging the wood-fired ones. I was paired up with Rashad Williams from Channel 9 down in Wausau and Katie Thorson from WXPR. And we had the help of Dennis Miller, a local cowboy, I gotta say, living up in Arborvitae, and we basically tested 13 different beefs.
Yes.
This is me taking a bite.
We also had 13 different categories in the charcoal category. And it was it's funny because for many years I was host or I judged the maple syrup festival in Phelps, where it was like 30 samples of maple syrup, right? This is so different. This is 13 samples of beef, and they all taste differently, right? They're all different. So there was clearly a winner. We picked JJ's Acres, won our charcoal category. But man, you walk away from that and you were just...
Well, I was gonna say, I think you warned me to pace myself.
I did.
These are kind of the samples that you see, and I like ate half a sandwich probably at the first stop, and by the end I was having like a nibble at a time because I was so full. I'm not gonna have beef.
You got to
for another
pace yourself, and it's the whole experience is fun as a judge because you literally have a table set up for you in the middle of 51 downtown Minocqua, and you pull up and they pull out a chair for you, put a napkin in your lap, offer you a glass of wine or a bottle of bourbon. You know,
bribing is very encouraged.
Bribing is encouraged.
I think we have one more picture here.
Yeah, what do you got?
They just set up kind of like a placemat, and like you said, they pour wine for you as well.
It's just the whole experience, and the place was packed. There's so many games. The kids had fun. There's sometimes I think more dogs than there are people at this event. You know, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a bunch of fun. Well, Jeff, I think we should wrap it up right now. We're going to be back right after the break. We're going to talk a little bit of weather and maybe a second fall coming or second summer coming. Some high temperatures. We'll be right back after the break.
I learned long ago, if you've got the right tools and a little know-how, you can do it yourself. And no wall of mine's gonna get some dime a dozen paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, premium performance from start to that tough, washable one-coat finish. It exceeds expectations of what makes great paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains.
Get 11% off everything, including Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Welcome to Patchouli Garden in Park Falls. We love authentic Indonesian patchouli and we specialize in our original custom blends. Everything with the Patchouli Garden name on it we make right here in our store. Visit Patchouli Garden in the store or online.
Is it time to update your driveway? Contact S&B Asphalt to blacktop your driveway. An update not only looks nice, but it saves on maintenance and adds value to your property. Seal coating and blacktopping residential driveways, commercial properties, and private roads. S&B is equipped for the job. With a strong reputation as an honest company with competitive pricing, you don't need to turn anywhere else. Call S&B Asphalt today for a free estimate.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside. But if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on the inside. It's true. If you have diabetes, you know high blood sugar is the root of the problem. But that excess sugar can cause the blood vessels to be seriously damaged. And when that happens, this could happen: vision loss or even blindness. That's right, diabetic retinopathy is a leading cause of blindness for adults in the U.S. But even though you can't see it, there is something you can do about it. Remember this: now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is an incredibly important part of your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Just say to yourself, "Now I see." Then go see an eye care specialist. Visit nowic.com to get the facts about diabetes, your eyes, and what you can do next to take control of your sight. Brought to you by Regeneron.
Our local shelters have lots of furry friends in need of loving homes. Watch News Watch 12 today, every Friday morning, to see a new cuddly cat or dog ready for you to adopt. Homeward Bound on News Watch 12 today is sponsored by Paws and Claws.
You know, Jeff, it sounds like you had a surprising phone call during Beefarama.
Yes, I told you about this, right? Where my, I was at Beefarama and I get a call from my bank that someone is using my debit card, which by the way was in my wallet, in California.
And you weren't there.
They bought $1,000 worth of stuff in California, but my card is literally in my pocket.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, the bank refunded me the next day, but it was one of those like, how did they do that? It's like, how did that even happen?
Strange.
So, anyways,
I feel like summer is stealing from fall right now because we're going to get into some higher temperatures.
That's a good line, Dan.
I'm working on
Summer
my
is stealing from fall. Yes. So here we go. It's going to be one of those weeks where you just know we're going to pay for this at some point down the road. Where we could do 80 on Wednesday, maybe even on Tuesday, and then until then, though, no rain in the forecast through the weekend into Saturday probably. So it's just one of those where it's like, okay, we live in north central Wisconsin. This isn't supposed to happen, but here we are, right? The advertised low 60s. Yeah. We could do low 80s on Wednesday.
And then who knows? We could be a month away from snow at this point.
We could be. I mean, we already had last week Tuesday was the first official snowfall in Rhinelander historically, right? So it can happen already as of this date. It's just not happening anytime soon on our schedule.
Okay, well, we'll have more from Jeff at 5 and 6. We'll see you tomorrow at 4. We're going to welcome Carrie Bladorn and Ben Burnell. They're going to talk about their trip with the Hodag costume, telling people about the Hodag. We'll have more for you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Oh, no.